This video is brought to you by patrons of Alan Cadiz. Join the team at patreon.com/AlanCadiz.
In this video, we take a trip south of the equator to French Polynesia and a coral atoll called Fakarava. And it is here where we'll look at 3 different techniques to improve your wing foiling skills. In this video, I share 3 different tips for sailing in lighter wind. First, a subtle technique while getting up on foil. Second, a jibing tip for intermediate riders. And third, a tacking tip for intermediate to advanced wingers. We had some beautiful light wind on this trip, so it was a chance to work on our light wind skills, including getting on foil. Let's get started. When I'm getting up on foil, I feel 3 stages of board speed. The first, slogging, or plowing through the water. Second, when the board is planing on the surface of the water. And third, taking off. In this tip, I want to focus on the importance of gaining more planing speed before trying to push the board up on foil. A common occurrence I see in light wind and in strong wind is the board is pitched up prematurely, stalling the foil. A common mistake is people try to push too hard at that point and it stalls. So the trick is just to keep it low, skimming the water until you gain a little more board speed and then bring it up slowly. A little bit of wind. Just board starts to make a little, starts to plane a little bit, then I start pumping it. So first is slogging, second is planing, and finally let the board get a little more speed after it's planing before you kick it up on foil. Now on starboard tack, I'm going to focus on the board here. Pumping the wing. Now it's hard to tell from this angle, but what I'm really trying to do is get speed as opposed to elevation. Like an airplane traveling down a runway, it has to achieve takeoff speed before the nose is pitched up. The key point is to keep the board level and skim the water, gaining more speed before pitching the nose up to get on foil. Of course, there's other skills to help you get up on foil in light wind. Pumping the wing, pumping the board, but maximizing your planing speed and taking off at a less than steep angle are a few more. Now I want to share what I've learned about teaching the leading edge jibe to my students and the common mistake that they often make trying this jibe for the first time. But first, why we choose the leading edge jibe over a regular jibe in lighter wind conditions. In a regular or standard jibe, the trailing edge of the wing passes over the front of the board as the wing transitions from one side to the other. However, in light wind, your board speed often exceeds the wind speed, creating a headwind even though you're going downwind. This can cause the wing to get backwinded. So what I like to do is a leading edge forward jibe, and I've been sharing this with others and some of my students, and a common thing that happens is they turn downwind and the leading edge drops in front of them. This happens because the wing loses lift, and just like during a regular jibe, the wing drops down. And/or the true wind is still present, causing the wing to flip over, similar to what happens during a clue-first windsurf style jibe. So you want to hold it up, supporting it with your front arm, and even holding the clue down with your back arm. So the wing is level overhead, and then I turn it and I'm supporting it here as I come through the turn. Again, it has a tendency to fall in front of you, so you want to support it. So be sure to support the leading edge as you head downwind and carry more speed through the turn to outrun the true wind speed. Something else I want to point out, that the faster you go into the turn and the wider the radius of the turn, the more time that you'll have when the wind is at its lowest point. Tight radius turn, the timing is much quicker, so you've got to be really quick, or resort to just a standard transition. Another challenge that I see students learning this jibe, besides the wing dropping down in front, is that it continues to rotate or spin, often catching on the nose of the board. Make an effort to keep the wing level overhead. And for sure, practice this maneuver on the beach in light wind and get a feel for it before you try it on the water for the first time. The third tip about tacking is to transition the wing to the new side before the bow passes through the eye of the wind. Now the wing is pulling you through the exit of the tack. Here's a few examples of the wing not transitioning before the board reaches the eye of the wind. For the riders that are left foot forward or regular foot, this is the same clip, only mirrored. By the time the board gets to this point in the turn, the port wingtip should already be closer to the water. So the tip is simply to try to transition the wing early and as far over as you can. And this applies whether you enter the tack toe side or heel side. There's 2 other videos that I've edited in the past that go into the details on how to best manipulate the wing. In Learn to Fly, it's in the free ride portion of the video that I talk about the technique of flipping the wing over. Up next is a list of Patreon supporters that helped make this video possible. Immediately after this list, I present what I call my free ride edit. All of my more recent videos include this free ride segment. It's a more relaxed edit on various subjects. This free ride is about our trip to the South Pacific. To see the entire free ride, join the team at patreon.com/AlanCadiz. And you'll receive access to all my instructional videos. Thanks for watching, and I hope you learned something new. And welcome back to another free ride. They're always different. Here we're down in Tahiti enjoying the beautiful waters of Whakarava. And an update on Patty's progression. She's got her tacks. She can consistently make her toe side tacks from port to starboard. Now I'm pushing her to learn the leading edge jibe, which is really a light wind jibe, and it was kind of unfair of me to have her do this B-roll footage here in Maui in the high wind. You really need to be going fast to outrun the wind, and when it's blowing 30 knots, it's a little harder to do. Now back to Tahiti and our trip down there. We flew into Papeete and then flew to Whakarava, which is a coral atoll just northeast of Papeete, Tahiti. And from the airport to the dock where we met our captain. Now this is Bart and his wife Dagmar.
To watch the rest of this video, please join the team at patreon.com/AlanCadiz.
And it's a wrap.